And we start this edition of Live and Breaking with the news break that's coming in from the state of Karnataka. Now, amid the controversy surrounding 3 Deputy Chief Ministers' demand in the state of Karnataka, top Congress ministers have spoken to, Minister has spoken to Republic on the growing demand for Deputy Chief, more than one Deputy Chief Minister in the state. In fact, it's the PWD Minister who's revealed inside details of the meet which happened with Surjewala. 10 ministers have made a demand for multiple deputy chief ministers in the state. So, at least 10 ministers have made it amply clear in that meet which happened yesterday that there is a need for more than one deputy chief minister in the state of Karnataka. Listen in to that exclusive conversation we had with one of the ministers in the state. It's the PWD minister, Satish Jarkioli, who spoke with Republic on this meet which happened on Tuesday.
नहीं, हमने सीनियर मंत्री कल मिले थे सुरजेवाला साहब से और बहुत दिन से चल रहा है कर्नाटक में और कुछ डीसीएम होना चाहिए जाति के आधार पे, एरिया के, प्रांत के आधार पे। सब बहुत दिन से चल रहा था। कल खास करके जनरल सेक्रेटरी साहब ने टाइम दिए थे सबको। 7 लोग मिनिस्टर थे और 3 लोग नहीं आए थे, कहीं बाहर थे। 10 लोगों का हमारा मिलने का एक शेड्यूल था। सो हमारा डिमांड तो रख दिया है जनरल सेक्रेटरी साहब ने। अभी देखेंगे, वो बताया कि कन्वे करेंगे हम राहुल जी से, करगे साहब से और केसी वेणुगोपाल साहब से कन्वे करेंगे। उसके बाद जो भी होगा आपको बताएंगे। ये तो हमें कल एक मैसेज दे दिया है।
Why do you think that there is a need for multiple deputy chief ministers? Because in the past 7 months that we have seen, there has been absolutely no problem with a single deputy chief minister headed by the chief minister, of course. Why do you think that there is a feel at this point of time, at this crucial juncture?
नहीं, अभी तो ऐसा नहीं है। डे 1 से ही है। उस वक्त सीएम साहब भी सहमत थे इसके लिए और 2-3 लोग होना चाहिए डीसीएम, मगर हाईकमांड उस वक्त एक ही को परमिशन दिए थे। अभी तब से भी आज तक ये तो चर्चा होता रहता है, चल रहा है। तो ऐसा नया नहीं है, नया है। 7 महीने के बाद में कुछ नया आ गया। पुराना डिमांड है, ये ट्रेडिशनल वोटर है कांग्रेस का, वो जाति के लिए देने का हमारा डिमांड है, मांग है।
So you're saying that social engineering is one of the major reasons as well. But is the CM also in for this as well? Have you also consulted with the Chief Minister? Because you are one of those ministers who is very close to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, who considers you as a confidant of him. So have you spoken to the Chief Minister in this regard as well? What's his opinion on this?
नहीं, हम तो बस सीएम साहब से इससे कोई बात तो नहीं हुआ है। सो हमने कभी चर्चा किया है, मगर वो डे 1 से भी उनका भी मांगता और 2-3 लोग होना चाहिए। ये तो उनका पहले से राय है, फिर भी नहीं हुआ है। फिर भी इसके बारे में हम कभी साथ बातचीत नहीं हुआ है।
Isn't it also something, it's a difficult ball for the Congress to go ahead and look into it? Because if DK Shivkumar, the Deputy Chief Minister, who is also the KPCC President, goes ahead and rebels against the party, how will it go ahead and benefit out of it, or how will this turn out to be a major problem?
नहीं, देखिए, ऐसे पार्टी का डीसीएम तो सबको मानना पड़ेगा। अभी वो एक ही बन गया है, डीसीएम साहब तो है, तो हाईकमांड का हमने बात तो मान लिया है। अगर 2-3 और हो गया तो मानना ही पड़ेगा। अगर एक ही अगर वो कंटिन्यू होता तो वो भी हम भी मानना पड़ेगा, उसमें कोई दौरा नहीं है।
Also, sir, now we're also hearing talks that after 2.5 years, there will also be a rotational chief minister in the state of Karnataka, because initially when both chief minister as well as the deputy chief minister came to a consensus in New Delhi, this was what was spoken about. So any talks regarding that? And also to add on to it, in North Karnataka, there has already been calls that there should be some sort of prominent representation from a prominent leader there so that they become the chief minister as well. So on both these things, has there been any sort of consideration, talks or discussions?
नहीं, सीएम से डीसीएम से कोई लेना देना नहीं, वो अलग बात है। जो भी हुआ निर्णय वो तो दिल्ली के लेवल पर हुआ है। सीएम रहना है नहीं रहना वो हमको जानकारी नहीं है। हमारा डिमांड ओनली डीसीएम के लिए है, वो छोड़ के कुछ उसके कंसर्न नहीं है सीएम के लिए।
Lastly, sir, which major communities are we looking at if there is a post for the post of Deputy Chief Ministers? Are we looking at any particular communities?
नहीं, देखिए एससी तो कांग्रेस का बेस है, एसटी है, माइनॉरिटी है और लिंगायत भी है। सो हाईकमांड तय करना है किसको देना है, किससे पार्टी को फायदा हो जाएंगे लोकसभा और आगे वाले दिनों में किसका फायदा, वो देखिए, वो डिसीजन लेना है।
All right, so there you heard Satish Jarkioli while speaking to Republic says that at least 10 ministers have demanded 3 deputy chief ministers in the state. Let's go across to Prajwal as well. Prajwal, if you can once again take us through the details of what exactly transpired in that meet one, and details coming in on the top brass really not in favor of having the 3 deputy chief ministers in the state. So how is the top brass really trying to manage the situation in the state of Karnataka?
Samiksha, the takeaways over here are, highlights basically is the fact that the High Command is playing the wait and watch game, mainly when it comes with DK Shivkumar, because they know that at this point of time, they cannot go and anger him. Secondly, they have also made it very clear that public statements will not have to be given. But also, when we did go ahead and speak to Satish Jarkioli, one thing came across very clear to us, stating that no matter what, the demands of whatever these ministers tend to be very precise. 7 of them had met they are stating that we need multiple deputy chief ministers, and they are also maintaining the fact that this is not something new which has now come up. It is a thing which has been discussed from the day one, from the beginning of the time when the government was formed on the 13th of May in 2023 too, and it has already been 7 months, and it is high time that there is also change as well, because people from all communities go ahead and get some sort of representation too. And he makes it very clear that it is the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, the minorities as well as the Lingayites, because we did try to go ahead and prod on Satish Jarkioli, asking as to who will be these potential deputy chief ministers candidates as well, but he did not want to reveal much on it. And also about the rotational CM, if anything to go by what Satish Jarkioli is saying, it is the High Command who will be going ahead and taking a final decision on this. And secondly, he also states that this looks remotely impossible, that after 2.5 years, Siddaramaiah will make way for the deputy chief minister DK Shivkumar to be elevated to the position of chief minister too. So therefore, there will be some sort of massive internal fighting. And even if we are looking at the meeting which is scheduled in Delhi for tomorrow, because 28 ministers from the state of Karnataka will be leaving to New Delhi tomorrow, and if anything to go by now, sources are stating that DK Shivkumar will not be a part of this meeting in New Delhi, where the Congress High Command will be speaking in only to the ministers in the state of Karnataka. So DK Shivkumar has made it very clear that only once you sort this out, I will be coming into New Delhi and speaking. Until then, I will not be having a word with the High Command. This is what top sources are stating, meaning to say that DK Shivkumar will not be in New Delhi today evening for the meetings which are scheduled on the 11th and 12th of Jan 2. So this is a massive breaking which is again coming up at this point of time. And from what we understand now, there is also a high-level meeting which will be held by Randeep Singh Surjewala at 11 this morning at the KPCC office in the presence of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivkumar. But at this moment of time, there will also be the in-charge ministers of Lok Sabha constituencies who will be called in, because there has been 28 ministers named for 28 Lok Sabha constituencies to go ahead and oversee the Lok Sabha preparations too. And even if the talks around the Deputy Chief Ministers take center stage today in the Congress meeting, it should definitely not come out as a surprise. And one more thing to add on is that even Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is supporting for the calls on multiple Deputy Chief Ministers to go ahead and give representation to all the communities in the state of Karnataka. And the Chief Minister has wanted this from day one.
Yes.
But in the talks which was held in the beginning between Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister in the presence of the High Command, it was decided that the position of the Deputy Chief Minister and his powers will not be diluted, and therefore there will be only one single Deputy Chief Minister, which will be DK Shivkumar.